guest is a Marine Corps veteran, a former federal agent, a motivational speaker. Oh my goodness.
I know.
And the founder of the Mental Toughness Training Center. And he is here today to fill us in on his new book, 7 Secrets to Resilience for Parents. Please welcome back to our home the incomparable Dr. Andrew Wittman.
Yeah, sure. With that introduction, I mean.
And I don't know if you noticed that last title, Doctor.
Doctor,
That's
I know, right?
You're very, very busy.
Oh, I am busy, but thanks for having me back home for the holidays. No better place to be,
Andrew,
right?
so you were here in September, and we were talking a lot then, and you say your last visit here is what led you to write this book.
It was. We were having a conversation. It was on leadership, which is corporate stuff, and somehow we wandered into it with our kids. And then the outpouring of the family across the country was like, could you help us out with this? You know, how do we get it from the office and take it to the house? And 7 Secrets of Resilience for Parents. Boom.
I mean, I'm telling you, because when we were talking about that, and we were talking about for business, I was like, we should do this in our home.
Right, and we were talking about it after the show and on the set, and so, so thanks, guys.
Well, you were there.
Well, from the book, now let's dive right in. In your experience and in your research, what do you think the most important thing that parents can do for themselves and also for their children is?
Right, the first thing is to accept yourself.
Okay.
Because I always say this, can you give anybody anything you don't have? Like if I didn't have a $100 bill, could I give you a $100 bill?
No.
No, but if I don't unconditionally accept myself, could I unconditionally accept my kids?
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
right. So, and I want to separate acceptance from approval. Right. A lot of times, parents, we blur the line from behavior, and we say, oh, I'm disappointed in you. No, I might be disappointed in that behavior, but I unconditionally accept you with no performance stipulations.
Okay. So how do
Which
we
is
do
a little bit more wordy when you're saying it.
But the word is in your head, so
Yes,
you don't say I'm
I'm teasing,
disappointed in you, right?
Right.
We say, hey, listen, that behavior is not acceptable. We don't act like that around here. But they always have to know I unconditionally
Right, they
accept
have
you
to
and I
feel
love
that
you.
part.
Absolutely.
Okay,
They got to
yes,
know that I
yes.
love them no matter what. You're
That's
safe
good.
with me no matter what. I want you to run home to me
Right.
because you're safe with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that with yourself, there's no way you could give that to your kids. So as a parent, that's the biggest thing is to just get over yourself.
So you have to have time for yourself too and love yourself. Like it's the thing when the
It is
mask
the
falls
thing.
in the airplane,
Right?
you have to put it on yourself.
You're stealing my
before it can-
thing. That's my thing. Oh my gosh. Get out of my head, Debbie. What the?
You gave them the idea for the book.
Right, now you're telling me. I know.
This is what happens when we get together.
I know, we synergy. But it's so serious because, like, the social pressure is we say, oh, it's selfish if I don't look out for myself first. But, right, we know that with the airplane when the mask drops, you got to put it on you first or else the kids, what happens?
Right.
Who's going to help them?
Exactly, you'll
Absolutely.
pass
Yeah,
out.
that's true.
So you talk a lot about motivational intelligence. What does that mean?
So all of our kids are motivated different ways. If you have more than one kid, you know that they're all different. And what gets them to move towards, and I always want to approach, right? That's the whole thing about reducing stress is get your kids to approach things that are helpful and encourage growth, like eating your vegetables, brushing your teeth, instead of avoiding those things.
Okay.
So motivational intelligence is figuring out how to put my finger on that hot button to get them to go towards brushing their teeth without us having a meltdown about it.
So how do we do that?
Give us some.
Right, so I write a story in the book about a little girl named Molly who hated having her teeth brushed. Anytime it was time to get the teeth brushed, she was 3 years old, you know, duck and cover, mouth, though, you know, you're not getting that toothbrush near me. So her dad took her to the zoo and she loved the tigers, all into the tigers. And he mentioned that, you know, the tigers get their teeth brushed at night too.
Yeah.
And then that night, they were home and he said, she said, I'm a tiger. He said, you are? She said, yes, Daddy. He goes, let me hear your tiger roar. So she roared. Rah. He said, let me see your tiger teeth. And she showed her and he said, hey, you know what? Those teeth look a little dirty. Could I brush your tiger teeth like they do at the zoo?
Nice.
She thought about it. She said, oh, okay. And so that's never more, you know, right? Because
Be on their level.
right. So she's tapping into majestic and I'm in power and in control of my own mouth, just like a tiger is, not having it invaded by, you know, mom and dad.
Do you think that'll work with my 15-year-old? Because I
Well, you got to figure out. Yes,
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but to your point, you got to get creative with, you know, different kids because everybody gets sort of motivated in a different way.
Right, we all right. So, and how do I? So that's the intelligent part of motivation. Get them moved towards something instead of away from it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, Orly and Marie, if you guys want to chime in and ask, because I see the wheels turning.
I actually have a question about that because so my daughter Blake is one of the funniest little tiny humans in the world. She's 3 years old. She's crazy, but she is so in love with her older brother who's 5 that she's motivated by anything he's doing. Right. So she'll do anything he's doing. So I almost don't know how to figure out what her true motivation is because it seems like it's just a direct result of whatever her brother's doing.
That's a good
Is that can that be the motivation or am I missing something?
But I would totally tap into that. Like if you need to get her to do something, you got to get the brother on board.
I con Connor. I'm like, I got a Kit Kat for you.
Right. See, you already got it.
So that's okay, though.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to get them to move towards things that are helpful.
Okay, cool.
Instead of avoiding them, you know, like eating your vegetables and reading, getting outside and do some exercise and activity. Like that's great. If Big Brother runs outside, then let's go. You know, get off the the screen and
super good advice.
Cool.
So my question for you is, and it sort of becomes like an emotional thing because my mission in life is to create a good human being. I have a little boy, he's 5. I have 2 boys, but one's just a baby. And so one of my things is I feel like I find myself critiquing, or not necessarily critiquing, but fixing, like, please don't stand up if you're eating. Like, I'm constantly doing those things like, no, or do this, and I have to repeat things 50,000 times for him to get dressed for school.
Oh my
but he just loves,
Tell me a
like,
story we don't all know.
loves life. But my question to you is, like, he doesn't seem to be annoyed by me doing that. It doesn't affect him. But I feel like I'm naggy, and I don't want it to be like where's the line of being too much of that and letting him be a kid?
Yeah, and if you're asking that question, you know where the line is.
I don't.
No, if you're asking, you're thinking, well, I'm not sure if I'm nagging, then you know. Like that's the answer.
That just means I am.
You just answered your own question, right?
But then he's not getting ready for school.
Well, then we have to find a way to get him to approach getting ready for. So what is in it for him to get ready for school? Instead of you just trying to push him into getting ready for, you have to. What's in it for him to get ready for school? Like, who does he want to see at school? What kind of fun is he going to have at school? Right? So I want to, and that's the motivational intelligence. What is it that would get you to approach towards something? What's in it for you? Listen, all human beings, we all do stuff for selfish reasons.
Yes.
All of us, even parents. Well, I do stuff for my family, which makes you feel how?
Yes.
Good, which is a selfish reason. So I want to do is figure out what is the selfish reason that I can get you to buy in to go and doing this instead of me having to just nag you.
Right.
I love it. I mean, this is all fantastic advice. I want to make sure we have some time for conflict resolution. Obviously, conflict between parents and kids, it's unavoidable. Help us out a little bit because
that's
this is a biggie.
Yeah, the brilliant thing is it is unavoidable. And I ask parents, I'll be like, who here likes conflict? They'll be like, not me. Well, you should love conflict. Because there's really only 3 things to any communication that you give is it'll either bring commitment, which is what I want as a parent. I want you committed to what I'm asking you to do. It'll be compliance, which is I'll just do it while you're standing over my shoulder, but when you're gone, right? All right, and then the last thing is conflict. I don't want to avoid, because conflict is the path to commitment. Compliance is we just kind of smooth everything over while I'm in the room. We don't talk about it, but we don't deal with the underlying stuff.
Solved.
Right, and we're not buying in. There's no commitment. When I'm not there, right, so what I want to do is I want to expose the conflict so we can work it out so that you do buy in, that there is commitment. So conflict is where I want to go first if I can't get to commitment. If I
then you can be less naggy.
Right.
Right, to get compliance.
I would tell you, Andrew, your military background is what has gotten you here, 100%.
I'm with you on that. That's why the program's called Get Warrior Tough, right?
Yeah. 100%. I'm married to a retired Ranger.
Yeah.
Same
Rangers
sort of
lead
thing.
the way.
Rangers lead the way.
Yeah, I'm a Marine, but I don't hold it against them.
For more information on Andrew and then how to order a copy of his book, 7 Secrets to Resilience for Parents, you can head on over to his website, getwarriortough.com.
Oh, man.
It's a good
Go on
website.
to everybody.
Thanks, guys.